That's Sylvia, and I'm Rebecca. We're going to talk about
a big problem in Medicare Advantage is the fluidity. Is that a nice way to put it?
Fluidity. It's very pretty.
Fluidity of the networks, because it creates a lot of hysteria.
Unnecessary, wasted energy.
Because you constantly see so-and-so is not going to accept so-and-so. Baptist Health is no longer going to be a network for Kaiser. And you're like, oh my God, I have to move 800 clients. And it's like, calm down.
And this episode is for a lot of our newer agents, especially this might be your first go-around or your first couple go-arounds with Medicare Advantage in the season. This happens every single year. Every single year, somebody's not going to sign with the carrier.
Until the last minute or until an extended deadline, and then they sign. But in that interim period, you have clients calling you.
Because they all get letters, which is
and
insane.
you're freaking out how you're going to move all your clients to this AEP. So I've always recommended as a CYA that you explain that you're locked into the network, but your doctors and hospitals are not locked in necessarily for that same calendar year. We don't know when their contracts are up. We're not privy to it. So they could all be on the network today and you've done your job, but their contract expires in 2 months and they might not sign and they're not a network, and then you look like the bad guy.
Right. It's not fair for the agent.
So it's important that you understand it. And this year it's required by CMS as part of the pre-enrollment checklist that you explain networks. I don't know how everybody's going to do this in your hour-and-a-half appointment, get all this stuff in there.
Right.
It's also something good to put in your social media, put in your newsletters, put in your other communications to your clients, because it's hard to get everything into one sales appointment. So here's a bunch of headlines from recently. So Ohio Hospital drops Anthem. HCSE in Tennessee, Kentucky
Could split with
Cigna. Oregon had blah, blah, blah. United Healthcare, blah, 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 blah. It's constant.
It is constant.
But you might not know that because
Right.
in your area, you might have 3 hospitals and you've never had to deal with this problem.
Yeah.
So when it happens to you, you feel like, oh my God, the world is ending.
It's one thing for the agent to know. It's another thing when the carriers send letters. That is when the hysteria hits a new height. I think.
Because the carrier is trying to get the client to call the doctor and say, you better sign. And what's going on is basically the doctors want more money. The hospitals and doctors want more money, and the insurance companies want to pay them less money. It's the same thing. It's as old as time. And they gotta come to an agreement because they need each other.
Right.
But in the process of coming to that agreement, it really terrifies your
Oh,
clients.
God, yeah.
And so you have to be prepared to explain to them,
This could happen.
this
It's
could
normal.
happen, it's normal, and 99% of the time, they will settle.
Yeah.
So get out ahead of it by explaining it in advance. So if it's something that you've already touched on in your presentation, then when they see the headlines, they're like, oh yeah, Sylvia already talked about that.
Right.
You know, it's not that big a deal. It's very, very rare that they don't sign.
God, I don't know that I've ever seen them not sign. But
It
I don't want to
happens.
jinx anything.
It happens, but it's very rare. But hope that helps you, especially the new agents out there. Thanks for watching.
Good selling, folks. Make sure to like and love us.